what's up, Central? I'm CJ, and today I'm here with Coach McBride, and I'm going to ask him a couple questions for our new segment, Charger Connection. All right, Mr. McBride, first question, what is your favorite childhood cartoon?
I'd probably have to go with Gargoyles. I remember coming home every day after school and just jumping right to the TV, watching Gargoyles. I like that.
And just for the people that might not know what it is,
it's an older one.
Yeah, you might want to like explain it a little bit that way.
Gargoyles is like you have those statues with like the monsters, and they at night they come alive, and so it was like an action thriller kind of cartoon. I think it was on Nickelodeon. I don't know. It was a long time ago.
Yeah. Next question I'm going to ask you: who is the most famous person you have ever met?
It's a fun one. So I'll jump into the story, and I'll save the name for later. When I was in college, I worked landscaping a lot. I went to college in Michigan, around Detroit area, and so I worked landscaping spring through fall, and we were working on these big houses. And so working on this big house for a couple weeks, and then suddenly I see someone pull up in the driveway. I'm like, oh, that person looks familiar. That was this person's daughter. Like, okay. And then later on, we're finishing up, and then the owner of the house walks out to his patio, and it was Eminem. So I'm starstruck, just cleaning up, and then Eminem walks out. I'm like, oh my goodness, what do I do? Like, what do I say to this guy? And he says hi to me. He's bringing out food to grill on his giant grill that he has, and he's starting a fire. And then he says hi to us. I'm like, oh, hey, I'm like a little schoolgirl, starstruck. So I clean up, and then he asked us if we want to stay over and have burgers and brats with him around his campfire, his bonfire. And so we're like, oh, yeah, you can't say no to Eminem. And he told us to ask our boss to make sure we're done. And so she said, yeah, as long as you find your own ride home, and then you can stay, but I'm leaving right now. So obviously we stayed, hung out with him for a few hours, and then he went out to all the clubs later on in Detroit, and we had to go back home because we had to get up early in the morning, so we didn't really have a ride, so we ended up getting a cab back home. But he's actually a really down-to-earth, chill guy, which I thought kind of surprising because he has like very hard persona. Yeah. But yeah, Eminem story.
Next question I'm going to ask you: what is the most impactful thing you've ever done for a student?
So I worked in Arizona for a while, and I would help a lot of kids overcome their struggles in the classroom. So they had a lot of behavior problems, and we would there's kids who were struggling just to make it through the day, like always getting suspended and stuff like that. So I worked with him a lot. We ended up turning his behavior around, and he ended up being really successful throughout high school, and ended up making it to college, which was far beyond what he thought he could do. And so I think that was the biggest thing. So he made really big strides.
Yeah, that's really cool. Next question I'm going to ask: if you could change any mistake you've ever made, what would it be and why?
That's a big one. Biggest mistake. I probably would have went to a different school, different college. Because the college I went to, there's a lot of issues throughout all the 4 years I was there. Yeah. And so I think going to a different college, I could have made better strides and it would have been more responsible. Yeah.
Next thing I'm going to ask: what was your least favorite class in high school or college?
Oh, man. Get me in trouble. So my least favorite was probably a math class. And I think it was so in my school we had Math 1, Math 2, Math 3, Math 4, so it was like a mixture of geometry and algebra and all that stuff every single year. Yeah, so it's complicated. But I think it was mainly because of my teacher. My teacher wasn't very nice, made everything super difficult, and didn't really help us. It was more of like a teach yourself kind of class.
Yeah.
And so he just sat back and didn't help us whatsoever. So I think that's why I disliked it the most. It was my sophomore year.
Yeah. Next thing I'm going to ask, did you choose this job or did this job choose you?
Mm-hmm. So I actually went to school to become a physical therapist or a architect. And then I was volunteering in an elementary special education classroom, and I enjoyed it so much working with these students that I ended up changing my major. So I guess I wasn't looking to join education, but education did find me, pulled me in.
That's really cool. Next thing, what is your least favorite part of teaching?
Least favorite part? I think the early mornings.
Oh,
So, especially if you're a coach, getting up super early
Yeah.
to do all these early morning stuff. And yeah, I think that would be the biggest part. Just waking up super early like that.
That is super crazy how early.
I like sleeping.
Yeah. Next thing, what is the insecurity that holds you back the most?
Ooh, you're getting deep with these. Insecurity that holds me back the most. I think the biggest thing, I've overcome it for the most part, but I think when I was in high school and in middle school, all growing up, I was always very tiny, very short, very skinny, and so I was always picked on by my teammates and all the kids. And so, starting my senior year of high school and throughout college, said I'm not gonna let it affect me anymore. So I've been overcoming that. A lot of it was just due to how skinny and small I was, but I mean, I've grown since then.
Yeah.
So I'm I'm 6'2" right now, so I'm really not that anymore. But I think just not the flashbacks, but everything that happened in the past, holding me back and not being who I am all the time.
Yeah. Next thing I'm going to ask you, what is your dream job? Like, if it's not, like...
If I wasn't teaching?
Yeah, if you weren't teaching, what would your dream job be?
So I like working a lot with behavioral analysis stuff. So studying behaviors of people and determining why they're doing certain things.
Yeah.
And so I always thought it would be really cool to be like work for like a special task force, like the FBI behavioral analysis unit, or something like that, to do that for my living.
Yeah. Last thing I'm going to ask you, what is the best sandwich?
I love my sandwiches, so it's going to be a tough one. I really like turkey clubs. So you got turkey, you got the bacon, put some avocado on there, and a little berry jam. Do that on the bottom. Oh yeah. So instead of mayonnaise, put some berry jam. It goes super well with the bacon and the turkey. Yeah. Try it if you haven't.
Okay. I'll be sure to put that on my list of like 15 different sandwiches I gotta try.
You'll thank me later.
All right. Well, thank you so much. It was really fun being able to interview you here. A lot of questions that you answered really well. You did really good overall. We'll see you next time.